Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2 India Edition, where we're now looking at the brand new commuter line that we implemented in the last episode. Guys, it's a pretty big one. It now goes from all the way from New Delhi all the way down, hold on, to Cannes right now. It is so long. Obviously, it does transition and kind of switch over trains in Mumbai, but that is a long commuter line. Now that means we are more intertwined and connected than we've ever been, and everything is gearing up to making New Delhi the biggest city we have ever seen in this game. It is absolutely terrifying, and we still got so much more expansions we've got to do. Now today we're going to do something huge. Absolutely huge, that's going to benefit New Delhi even more. Now, as of right now, New Delhi has a really steady supply of fuel coming in, and that is going all the way up, bending ground from this that we set up a few episodes ago of pretty much delivering fuel over to the city. Now, guys, we're going to try and attempt to give New Delhi its second product that it needs to grow, and that product is goods. Now, there's a big issue with goods. It takes a lot to make it. Fuel's pretty easy. It's a case of, we've got set up here right now, getting the crude oil, taking it to a refinery, refining it into refined oil, then taking the refined oil all the way up to the fuel refinery to turn it into fuel, and then it's good to go. Whereas a goods factory, and we actually have a couple here, as you can now see, we, first have to create plastic. Now, plastic is the same as fuel. Rather than dropping the refined oil off in the fuel refinery, you drop it at the plastics or the petrochemical plant, which turns it into plastic. So there's not much difference there, but that's just one of the products it needs. You then also have to give it steel. Now, steel, we have a steel run over here. You need coal, you need ore, taken all the way to your steel plant, and then bringing that over. And then once you've got both of those products there, then you can take the goods to New Delhi. That's wild, isn't it? It truly is wild, and it's going to be a big task to get it done. So you might be thinking right now, yo, Seniac, you have this perfect setup here. Shall we build it here? Is this where you're going to be doing it? You're going to take the same train going out all the way to New Delhi? I thought about it, and I don't think I'm going to. So what I'm saying is I'm about to give myself more work than I need to do. So if I go to the cargo layer and see what part of New Delhi requires the goods, it's mainly this western side. So we've got to see if we can bring goods in here a lot easier. Now, I've kind of scanned around the map. We've got this nice little section over here where we can kind of create a big fuel refinery plant. And there's another one just over there as well. So if I can create something going back and forth there, we could produce plastic. Now, the only problem with that is I've got the plastic, but there's nothing really around in terms of a goods factory. There is... Actually, I don't think there's any goods factories nearby. Actually, this might be a bigger task than I first intended it to be. So I kind of want something close by. Oh, okay. Maybe I didn't think this one through. Oh, there we go. Okay, I've just spotted a goods factory. So I could bring... Okay, there's the plastics one I can create, which will bring it down into here. I need steel, so I could bring the steel from over there, but then I have to kind of give this all of the ore and coal. How much steel do we produce up here? How much is on the platform right now? There is a fair bit. And we currently don't have enough ore. So there's a possibility I could make this produce even more steel. And then we could bring the steel from over here down. It would then have to kind of turn here to go this way. Right, this could be possible. The other option is keeping it really simple. We already have, oil coming in. It could be dropped off here. Plastic could be produced. But then I have to figure out a way to kind of take this into here, which I can kind of do like a little transfer with vehicles. It won't be huge, but it would kind of do what it needs to do. And then bring steel in. But my issue with that is I'll have to run a train down and I'll have to kind of turn it to come down here. Whereas I can build up a train network there and... Right. I'm going to do it the harder way because I like chaos. That is it. That is it. That is it. That is it. So I'll leave the oil section till last. We'll start with the steel. Now, what I need to do is I need to get steel, a secondary delivery, which currently delivers down to these machine plants, a second delivery coming to here. Where did it go? Sorry, there. Now, we need to first figure out then, can I make this a lot more efficient so we are literally delivering more, producing more steel? Let's take a look. So, we're falling short on the ore. That is where we're falling short right now. Now, because I've got enough cash, why don't I create dedicated lines? Because at the moment, there's 3 lines, coal, ore, and steel, sharing the same line. Well, if I give them dedicated lines, meaning no one has to wait for anybody else, and we can have a free flow of goods coming in. That sounds really good to me. So I'm going to have to extend the platforms. That's ultimately what I'm going to have to do. So we've got it set up here as in 4 tracks, that is. If I did another set of tracks and then a cargo platform, am I able to do another set of tracks and then another cargo platform? Yes. Now that allows me, right, to have 4 2-line sections. So that will allow me to have 2 for the coal, 2 for the ore. Sorry, no. 1, well, yeah, 2 for the coal, 2 for the ore. These 2 here for the steel delivery to the machines factory. And this last 2 here, my new steel delivery going to the goods factory. I had to think then for a second. Where am I actually taking this? So this is really going to bulk this train station up right now. This is going to put so much productivity into it. So many trains going to be coming in and out right now. The delivery is going to be huge. And we'll also see if we can improve the size of the trains so they can also carry a lot more as well. So, my next issue then is we've got to try and get all these on different lines. So this should be fairly easy to do here. It's just what happens there. This might cause a lot of chaos now. I'm kind of a little bit nervous to how we're going to ultimately do this. So, cargo trains aren't going to be high speed. I'm just going to run this to here. I'm going to run that to there. So this is technically our second steel line that we're going to have on the go. Now, the reason I'm not making them share lines anymore is because it allows me right now to have an uninterrupted service on each cargo run. We've got the money to do it, so, you know, why not do it? Why not do it? All right, bring that to there. And then do the same again. Now, it is going to be a little bit of a pain because there's so much going on this line already. There's going to be a lot of chaos and confusion with how this is ultimately going to work and how I'm going to get them to switch to their new lines. That's going to be a pain as well. So if I just quickly pause for a hot min, right? And what we ultimately need to do, we've got 2, 4... Oh, no, we need another set. Oh, snap, I need another set. This is way too many trains, isn't it? This is way too many train lines. But this is all because I want uninterrupted services on these 4 lines. Because these are going to be the lifeblood right now of getting the goods to New Delhi. Right, I'm probably going to end up regretting this. Okay, this is not working somewhere. I'm going to regret this, guys. I mean, I know full well, and, you know, I completely understand that I can kind of keep this all on the same set of train tracks. But like I said, I want an uninterrupted service. So, we're now going to delete you, which is going to cause absolute chaos right now in my lines. Absolute chaos this is now going to cause. Right, run this all the way back to here where we crisscross in. And then delete all of you. so much train tracks we've now got to delete. Right, and then you're going to run directly into here. And then you should run this way. Oh, no, guys. The regret is setting in. But it should still be all good. Right. There we go to there. And you run all the way down. Snap. You run all the way down. Snap. Right. So, uninterrupted lines on both sides, which is great. That run down here. They merge them with the two steel lines and then pretty much continue in this 2, 4, 6, 8 line system, which is ridiculous in many ways. And then we're going to just quickly delete all of this. Delete that crisscross there. Delete you. So what I'm going to have to do here is set up the world's biggest crisscross system just so the trains can eventually get to where they need to be. Because right now, they're going to be all over the place and on the wrong set of train tracks. Right, there we go to there. And this one is technically going to have to be completely oofed and deleted. Right, can I push this in? I know this is completely messing that train up. And this would technically be set up for this one. So bring you right round to there. Bring you right round into here. And then we're going to do the same to these now. Roughly get into the same area. Right, we've got a collision to a certain degree. Here, that road is going to have to be slightly altered yet again. Oh, no. But trust me, once this is done, all this is just so I can get a separate steel line going to my new goods factory. But I want to do this because I want uninterrupted lines because it will allow me then to have a constant delivery of steel and coal. Like I said, all uninterrupted. Right, to there. I got one more line now to do. This is ridiculous. Talk about infrastructure, boys. Talk about infrastructure right now. Right, to there. Bring it all the way around. Bam, there we go. Now we get to this point. We'll bring you into here. You into there. You to there. You to there. Into here. And then down to there. So like I said, I've got to do the world's biggest crisscross right now. Just to make sure that they all get to the correct side of the tracks. So if I do a set just here. So if I do it on all of them here. Oh, don't play these games with me right now. There we go. So that enables them to crisscross anyway. Really? You're going to mess up on the last one? Right, so they can crisscross there. I'm then going to implement a crisscross here. Right. And then a crisscross here. This is completely over-engineered and completely overkill. It's completely over-engineered and overkill. It doesn't need to be like this. It doesn't need to be like this. That's all I'm going to say right now. So if you're in this line here, you can go over one, over another one. And then you can literally... I mean, I could also just do it like this, where they're able to kind of like stagger over slightly. But then you need to kind of go the opposite way as well. So it's like ultimately you can win, but you also can't win. Right, now we're going on the bend, which is going to be slightly annoying. But then again, we might be able to also get away with it slightly as well, depending on where the trains currently are. Let me just see where these lines are going to be up and running first. So, let me just go to the coal line, which as of right now, it stays on the far left. And then we manage the line, and we pretty much say to it, when it gets to here, that you can only utilize, and we want it to go into 8, so 7 and 8. That's all I want you to do. This one goes into 6, so it can only utilize 5 and 6. And that sets that one up perfectly fine, but we do have a steel line that needs to come in as well. So the steel line should operate in 3 and 4. So get it out of these ones, which will make it white so we can kind of see it a bit better, which does exactly what I needed to do. I have a feeling, right, we might be okay, and I haven't got to do the vast ridiculousness of the trains, but there is some issue somewhere because we still have the red warning above. So let me just implement those last few little crissy-crossies. I know this is overkill and I don't need to do it like this, but, you know, just humour me for a second. Right, for some reason now I can't do the crisscrosses. Has your boy finally implemented too many? Have I now officially got to my crisscross limit? Right. A lot of them didn't need to be. Okay, a lot of them didn't need to be. So, we don't have signals for a lot of this stuff. This train here, for example, is now completely stuck. So, I'm going to turn that around. Oh, I think that might be it. So, I think once they get back to here, I think they're then going to be completely okay. So, this completely staggered crissy-crossy section right now definitely should come in handy. And get it to where it needs to be. So, I've got it in play mode. I'm going to let it run its course and see if any other issues do arise. Now, while we wait for that to happen, I can now set up signals to completely allow all these trains to then move along at once. Which makes my life so much easier. Is that a steam train? Oh my goodness me, we've got steam trains on the go, boys. That's wild, isn't it? Right, I can finally get rid of this one. That can now go. We'll set up some SIGs here. All on there. Sort it out here. And then I'm just going to keep doing the sets where we've currently got them. And then we'll do a last set just here. Alright, there we go. We got our first issue now arising. I think that might be down to the train getting caught on a signal. So that now doesn't know what it needs to do. That is a train for the coal run. So that's going to come out, bend down to there. Bend down to there. It needs one more crisscross. So if I just allow it to merge here, that train, once I turn it around, should have the green light to go. And then fingers crossed, all the lines are done. I've got the pain of this train right now. Also going to see the same effect happen. But that might be able to get away with things. So, fast forward. It's a glorious line, though, isn't it? It is a glorious line. So, that's having to wait because this train's coming in. Once it passes the crisscrosses, providing another train doesn't kick in, which this train has, it can then go and hopefully sort itself out. So, we should then be back in business. So, if any other issues arise, we'll sort it. If nothing else pops up, I'll then get rid of all the crisscrosses and then we're back to normal. He says we're going to be back to normal anyway. He says. Right. Nice. Glorious. Beautiful. Beautiful. So, that's now all set up then. And we're going to bring this down and choose where this station's going to be. Now, I need to have this station also set up to allow the oil and the plastics coming in. So setting it up where this kind of comes down, it can kind of turn here somewhere and go in. It's a little bit of a longer-winded route, but that should work. And there's some big hills there we've got to be careful of as well. So we need to have a platform set up for the plastic, a platform set up for the steel, and a platform set up to pick up the guts. So basically we need 6, and that should be perfect. Super long, boys, and I'll set it up. I'll set it up a little bit like this here, which I reckon that should be fine. It's a little bit out of the way at the minute, but a simple road connection would sort us all out. So bringing this straight across. Like so. And then running you up. Like that should be all I need for that connection there. So it just puts it in a better position for us to kind of, you know, bring the train in and out from it. So we're going to have to pick our little radius of a bend, which we'll bring it through here. So I'm going to bend this about there. Right? Yes, that should work. So bringing this round here. And then this should be a very, very simple, straight, no issues, no questions, no problems, no tears type of line running all the way up. Now, something has definitely messed up because it's gone underground. There's me going, it should be a no issue, no problem, no question, no tears kind of line, and then something like this happens. Oh, I just realised there was a road connection that I've kind of got rid of that I need to implement back in, isn't there? Right, there we go. There we go. So we'll build it in stages instead. That's all we'll do. Just to make sure that we don't lose anything from this. Well, I don't think we can mess up now, can we, in reality? So that's straighten down there. Bring this up. Up and over. Run it all the way down. Is there an... What is going on with this train line? Seriously. Why does it not want to completely snap to what I'm trying to do here? Honestly, guys, I don't know what's going on right now. I honestly don't know what's going on with this train line. Right, because it now can't be trusted anymore, I'm going to build it like this. It clearly can't be trusted. So this is how we're setting it up. Oh my goodness me. What a bunch of shenanigans. Right, are we close now? We are. So this truly can't be messed up now, can it? No. Oh goodness me. There we go. We got there in the end. Right, anywho, boys, anywho, we now should have uninterrupted deliveries of all the goods coming in. So we might see some big changes now happening with the ore. If not, we'll have to kind of change the trains up anyway, so it's not a problem. Right, now that's done, let's get this line actually connected to my goods plant so we can actually begin creating some goods. So I've got to lead it into over here. So there is going to be a big elevation change at some point. So I'll bring this to here and then we'll allow the elevation to then kick in from that point. Oh, there's a little bridge there. Hello. Tools. How do I change the bridge? Oh, I can do it here, can't I? We'll go with this one. I know the bridge will never be that speed. The train, sorry, because of the train tracks, and two, the type of trains in question. Right, slope is too much, so we have to bring this a little bit further back. What about if I bring it... Because it is... I understand it's a big drop. So we're going to do it from further back. So from further back, we've got the bridge still in. We've got the crissy-cross roads. This drops down. I'll do this as normal land. And we'll confirm you. And confirm you. So last thing I'm going to quickly do right now is just smoothen off the terrain. Am I foolish for choosing to do it the hard way? Or do you reckon this will be really, really good in the end? I reckon it'll be really good in the end. Right. Crisscross. There we go. So ultimately, we got the two other sets now set up to take the goods to New Delhi and also receive the plastics as well. Right. We're just missing some signals, but let's just set this route up now to start sending steel down here. So, new line. That's all we need to do. From here to here and back. I'll make it white so it also stands out. Utilize both sides. Utilize both sides. That's all it needs to do. I haven't given it a name yet. I probably should really do that. If I allow the train to come in, it'll go bam, bam. No, we're going to have to set up our... we're going to need to set up a depot more likely over here. So we'll kind of set this up with buildings. And then we'll do tracks here. So we'll swoop this in. Which side does it drive on? Let me find a train real quick. Drives on the other side. Or I make it go in here. So if I do it like that, because then this can bend into here. And that can bend into there. Yeah, kind of. Okay, so... with that being said, let's kind of now quickly buy a train. So we're going to go diesel. If I go for speed, speed means nothing to us because we are going to be limited by the actual... whatchamacallit. We're going to go for this one anyway. Trailers. Now, if I go by capacity, I want the biggest capacity to carry steel. And it's the flat car side with stakes. 120 is what it can do. Now, this one is half the weight, so we'll go with this one. And we'll give it a 306 capacity, which might be a little bit wild. I'll do 252. We'll buy 2 of them for now. And it will be line 6, right? Yeah. Now, we've got to set up some signals on this. We've got to set up some signals, and then this line is then ultimately done. So signals take place. They go all the way along here, which is great, and then they kind of stop at this point here. Next set just here. So with the fact that our steel plant can now has basically an additional customer, we should now have it level up. Is what it should do. Alright, run this down. Bam, bam. Bam, bam. And wabam. Wabam, boys. Wabam. So eventually these will get spaced out nicely. These will then have an additional customer, so they should start leveling up. But there is an issue with the lines. So the coal line does 792, whereas this line does 702. So if I just replaced, I mean, I don't even know what they're currently holding. So if I just replace them with the same diesel train, but then wagons, cargo, by capacity. I don't know if it's the correct ones on there. I think it is. But I'll do new ones anyway. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We'll do 14, 15. So replace them. And I'll add a 4th one. Oh, depot not found. That is true. That is very, 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 very true. I don't have a depot. Right, just for the sake of it. Buildings. Spin it right round. Here's your depot. Right. So, manage vehicle. Duplicate. So that gives me way more of an ore delivery than I need. Okay. Now, manage these here. If I replace them, I'm going to do the exact same thing again. Don't need to replace them. But I'm going to do it so it's updated, you know, trains. And, oh, I wasn't counting. I was meant to do 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now, it was originally still the same as the other one. But you were still getting more coal than you was ore. Now, that could have been because it originally had to stop and wait. So we'll see what now happens between them all when there's no delays. That will be the interesting thing to see from all of this. So let's just give it time. Let's just give that some sweet time. Here is the second steel train on the way. Has it already started producing the goods? It already has. Like I said, it will take time before this can start to build up. So phase 1 done. Not only is phase 1 set up to deliver the steel here, but widening all the train tracks, as big of a task as that was, should have made a huge difference. Let me now just get this street back to being connected. Oh, don't tell me we've got new... Oh, we've got new gondolas. Oh, goodness me. New oil tankers. I've literally just bought new ones as well. How annoying. How annoying, boys. How actually annoying is that? Alright, drop you down. Right, that connection's now back in. Right, do I now upgrade them all? Oh, that's so annoying, isn't it? I'll come back to it, okay? I'll come back to it. That's so annoying. We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it, boys. So we'll see what type of deliveries we get coming in. So we should have bigger ore deliveries now kicking in. No. Yeah, I think we should, shouldn't we? Where are my ore deliveries? Do we just get one? Are you the ore train? You're a coal train. You're a coal train. What have you just picked up and dropped off? Oh, I think that's the new one, isn't it? That's the new one that hasn't technically picked up yet, right? Yeah, I think so. So we're about to get an ore delivery coming in. We just need more ore in general over here. We do. I might replace the... No, we'll see first. We'll see. Alright, let it do what it's got to do. Let's let it do what it's got to do first before I replace them all. So, phase 1 done. I now need plastic. Now, looking at this, we have the oil, we have a refinery, and we have a plastic or chemical plant. And we have the same over here. So we have to we have to create a line that picks up the crude, drops it off. Picks up the crude, drops it off. Another line that picks up the refined, drops it off. Picks up the refined, drops it off to the plastic. And a plastic line that goes back and forth like this. So I need a 3 station setup again. Holy mo, this is wild what I've got to do. Right, something like this here is exactly what we need. Right, let me delete this road. Let me just do a straight road going down. So I'll sort out all the little connections and all the razzle-dazzle in just a moment. Can I implement this here? Right, this couldn't have gone more to plan if I tried. So, first things first. We'll set up our lines first before I do all the building stuff. So keeping that straight, no issues, is there? No. We're going to run you all the way down. And like I said, I'm going to do this the same way I've done that the ore and the steel line. I could literally, right, keep them on the same run. And have them share the same line. But because we've got the funds to do it, we might as well give them dedicated runs. It will make us a little bit more efficient, like, you know, like I've said before. So it should work out fairly well. Right, that's all in. No, it's not. What is going on with the game right now? I've never had this issue before, but all of a sudden my train tracks just don't want to align or snap to themselves. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's wrong with the snapping these days. Alright, build to there. Right, that snapping's all worked, right? Yes. Right, here. Snapping's all still in. All good. So if I run this snapped, that should be all good, right? Yes. And breathe. Right, I've got to get this over to here, so we're going to have to now kind of set up a little bit of a 4-line system. All because I want to keep them separate. Funny, isn't it? So this now should run to there, and that bends in, and connects to there, This is going to run to here. This is going to run to here. This bends into there. That bends into there. And I've got those 2 lines almost now complete. So what does it try to attempt to do here? There's a little bit of a bridge. You know what? We'll go with the bridge. That should be pretty fun to see. Run this out, about, and around. Same going now back. And again. Which connects to just here. Right. Very long-winded. And they have separate lines. All because I want efficiency over anything else. I want productivity and efficiency over functionality. Is that the best way to pull it? So, last thing I gotta do here is the ye old crisscross. Oh, come on. There we go. On that side. Sort it out on this side real quick. Bam, ba, bam. Bam, ba, bam. And then I'm going to bring you out. And you into there. Buildings, spinsies. Nice. Right, actually, no. I've got to set up the lines first. So these are now contain my new ones. My new cargo stuff. So we do black there. We'll go 1. We'll go 1. Is that on the right ones? Right, let me do this individually. So in Burge right now, we do set it up on 1, and it can utilize 1 and 2. Ajmer, we set you up on 6, and it can also utilize 5. Wait, is that right? 5 and 6, yes. And in Burge... Oh no, it's 5 and 6 as well. I do apologize. There we go. So that line there is predominantly picking up the crude oil and then taking it to the refinery and going them back and forth and doing the exact same thing. So, diesel train. Cargo, it's on capacity. So we got these new tankers, which will do a 300 capacity there. And then we'll put that on the, which will be line 15, right? Yes. So wait for autosave to kick in. It's quite a big one, this. It's quite a big one. Now, I don't know if we'll need 2 trains. We'll judge that depending on how much cargo is stacked upon the side of the platform. Now, just to make sure there's no, hiccups with this, it's only going to, right, load and unload. That's all it's going to do. Load and unload that oil. Because we're going to have a separate dedicated train. So another new line, which will be on platform 3 and 4. I'll make this a different style of grey, which does the refinery job. You know what I mean? Back and forth there. Now, the refineries take... Where is it? Where is it? Here. 2 to 1. So if that's a 300, which I got to pause now because I didn't set up the rest of these. Cargo buildings. Alright, you there. You there. Road. Straight down. You're in. You're in. Right. That connects up to all 3. Great. This one connects up to only 1. Okay. So that should now be all 3 of them. Cargo building, we'll put there. Down. All 3, perfect. Right, back in business. So we've got 1 train dedicated going back and forth. Now this takes 2, so if I've got 1 train, I'm actually going to put 2 trains on this line. So manage vehicles and duplicate. So then all I need to then do, if I actually manage vehicles, duplicate again, but that train here, I put on line, which will be 16. So you've got a 600 capacity going back and forth there. And because these take 2 to make 1, I only need a 300 capacity train. You see what I mean? So then I am ready technically to deliver plastic to here. Now plastic's going to come in on the middle one. So, oh, I need to set up signals on that. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I need to set up signals. All right, 1 there. 1 there. And although we don't have 2 trains on that one side, we'll set it up as if we are going to have 2 trains. So signals there. We'll do them here as well. Oh, no, I didn't mean to put that one there. So bam, 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 bam. And we'll do the last set just here. Right, that is now good to go. That'll take some time before we start seeing that actually work. But this is a way in which like I said before, I don't normally do it like this where I have separate lines. I've never really normally done it like that. You can see from this. I mean, technically, yeah, we have separate lines here, but they kind of like do different jobs in a way. You know what I mean? So we kind of had it there, but not to the extent of how we're doing it right now. Right, so the middle one, I'm going to bring this out. I'm going to try and keep it in a straight line. So we've got a bridge issue, and I think it might be a case of the bridge is not high enough. So get it to there, slightly raise it up. We'll go over as a bridge, which will choose this style of bridge. And then we'll bring it back down. Now this has got to go and turn into here. So we kind of need to do a V in this area. So if I ran you to there and ran you to there. So set up another one here. Set up another one here. And that is going to run, it's going to have to run down there. So if I then ran you to here, you're there, to there. So that's my next issue is the wideness of the bend determines the speed of the train. So if I went, I mean, I got to push that even back even further now, don't I? So slowing down to a 90, I mean, that's perfectly fine. The train can only do 120 as a top speed anyway. And from there, try and get the same out of this, about a 90. You're getting an 80 on that. A 90 there. Okay, that works out. Oh no, I've connected into that. I didn't mean to. Alright. There we go. simplistic, but does what it needs to do. Right, that bends in gloriously. And then we've got to find where this is now going to bend. So I could do a really long bend like that, but that's not me. Okay? That's not me. Also, I've got to bring this coming over as well. We're so close. We are now so close. Because this line is going to have to share itself going into New Delhi as well. So bring this going out. So bring it to there. Bring this to there. And then we're going to have to try and get these to meet at some point. Right, I reckon we start the procedure right now for the bend here. So it can maintain its 120 speed, which is important. And then that's done. Oh my goodness me, we can actually have plastics now delivered. So another new line. I need to name all these lines. It's been a while since I named the line. Right, back and forth there. We'll make it purple. There we go. Ish. Purple-ish, right? There we go. That's a better purple. We've got to set up a crisscross. There we go. And then we've got to set up our... Well, we got to finalize the line first. I just realized I haven't even finalized the line. Right, bring it all the way down into here. And then take this all the way back. Which will end up there. So that sorts out that one side. And then you get to here with this one. Bends in there. And then get these two bad boys to meet in the middle. Now, was that enough, that line? I don't think it was, because we don't technically have it on the right side. So that's got to go on 1 and 2. So that does okay there on this. Burge. It'll be 1 and 2 as well. And then over here, I think this is where it messes up. It's 3 and 4. And again, back again, 3 and 4. Right. What I've got to do right now is, because it wouldn't have been set up on this second line, so I just realized with what's on the platform. This line 16, it actually can only load and unload the refined oil. I've just realized I did one, but I didn't do the other. Right, that means then we have then ultimate control on what's being taken back and forth. Wait for autosave to kick in. So that train's now going back. It doesn't really fill itself up, because you've got to get his numbers up, but you got to get the refinery leveled up as well, and you do that by delivering more and more goods. Right, that's now pretty much done to that extent. To where I can now... Is it a 1-for-1? Yes, on the old plastic. So I'm going to pretty much set up the same type of train then. So diesel, bam, cargo. It's a box car. And we'll do a 300 capacity on that as well. It's a like for like. On the refined oil. And that's then set up. So everything there right now is set up. So New Delhi can start receiving the goods. It gets steel, and it's now about to start getting plastic. Who would have thought this day would have come? Not me. Not me, boys. So now this, once it gets to refined oil, can start producing the goods. Exciting, right? So I can now officially get a station in New Delhi. So looking at it like I did previously, the goods factor kind of gets implemented here. So it'd be nice to squeeze in a station as central as you can ultimately get it. It ain't going to be amazing. It's not going to be perfect, but it would be pretty nice to get it in as much as we can. Now, the line that comes in here goes elevated. So there's not much you can do about that. I don't think there's any way, shape, and form in which I could... Do you know what? I could maybe edit this to incorporate... But how wide is the radius? Yeah. I'm probably going to need a separate standalone station. And I'll need to build it in quite heavily in. It will need to be connected to like this road here. So it accesses all of this area for the goods. I reckon I need to delete or edit this here to build my station. Right, so buildings, it will be an end station. 2 tracks, right? And if I set it up just right, yeah, it's going to be really centralized to the area. It doesn't need to be long, solely because it's not picking up any goods from here, so nothing needs to be stored on the platform. So if I make it super small, I can then get my roads going back around it. So I'm going to pull it... just here. Just there. We'll configure it. We'll add a small little cargo building on the side. How small can we go? There we go. And one there and one there. And then just implement the road connections again. So that would go here. Thus creating you to run up to there. You will go across. This is obviously going to connect to there. And continue. And let New Delhi do the rest of how it wants to kind of grow. But that small little station has that big impact of where it can now reach, which is not too bad. Now, all I've got to do is run some tracks going out. So let me just get them completely out of the city first. That's what I want to do more importantly. I don't know if I'm able to implement the crisscross there, but the train would be too long. So I think I'm going to implement the crisscross here. So that should be long enough for the train in question. So I've just got to get that train track there connected up to a line that could share this, but I don't want it to. A line that's going to be separated. So we'll bring you down. That will bend up and in. That will come down into here, where we can implement the same crisscross on this side. And then this is literally just going to follow this train track. So we've really doubled up, tripled up, quadrupled up on a lot of train tracks this episode. And it's really extended our capacities for what we can do. Now, I've got the option to bring it up, bend it in and kind of go round, or kind of tick it off, because it's got to go up to there. I'm wondering if I have this a completely separate dedicated line that doesn't really connect to anywhere else. If that was the case, it's just kind of reaching past here. Now, I could have brought it into here. There would have been nothing stopping me. And there probably really isn't anything stopping me if I can kind of configure this right. So if I was to implement another set of tracks, and these will become bypassing tracks. To which then you would need a platform just to get the connection onto it. And I reckon I could do the miscellaneous platform, which you still have the connection to it all. So I can utilize that station to line me up perfectly to run these tracks. So if I ran that to there and got you, so it does have to slow down anyway. There's not really much you can kind of do about that. I mean, you can bring it, you can try and get it to a 90. So it's almost, it's not quite a 90, it's high 80s. Well, it should do the job, because then this can ultimately run that to there. So I can now just completely follow this whole line in general. So providing this does not mess up, I'm wondering how far I can take this. Directly in. Yeah, we should be fine now. We should be fine. And then that last little connection there. So another new line, which would be from here to here, which I'll make it a nice browny colour for the goods. Now, I don't think it'll bring anything additional over. There's nothing else it could bring over anyway. So no need to kind of change anything up. But that's done. I need a train. Now, what does this take? It takes 1 and 2. I'm not really particularly sure how many goods it's going to be producing. This is like something we'll have to come back in an episode or 2 time to see what the current capacities are. So let's do a 120 for now and set it up on that line 18. We are yet to have any deliveries of plastics. A delivery is now on the way in for the first time, so that's looking like we're now getting somewhere, finally. There's a last little bit of crude oil that we still have to wait for it to disappear. But it's now happening, boys. It's now working. It's now happening. We're now pumping in the right direction. It's been a big implementation of what we've done. We've had to really transform some of these areas. So we've got a bit of ore coming in, but I still think we need more ore. I still feel like we need more ore. I feel like we're still getting more coal than anything else. It might be this bend that really does slow him down. So I might rejig this bend. So wait for autosave. Give us a faster speed bend so we can kind of get them in and out a bit quicker for the ore. Right, come on, autosave. I originally built this bend to slow them down to be kind of equal, but I think it's kind of gone against us. So if I delete to here, and then delete to here. Pause for... No, actually, delete a bit more. Right, is this enough now to get the bend in? Right, it does kind of clip the road. So we delete this as well. So the bend, you could, I mean, it's still bendy, but the speed is no longer 70s. It's like in the 90s on some of it. So it is better. And it will be a minor improvement. Okay, it will be a minor improvement. But that minor improvement means it can hold speed and get to speed a lot quicker. Or at least I think it will. Okay, it's doing 42 now. As it's going around, it won't cap it. It'll just allow it to keep gaining speed. So in the long run, it should work out. He says. He says, he says, he says. But we do need more ore delivery. So that ore run, let's manage these vehicles and replace them with the same train, because that train's completely fine. Cargo-wise, the gondola. Oh no, it can do 160 now, so maybe change the train up. So if I do a 300 capacity here, diesel, if I do by speed. Oh no, that train we got on there is 188. No, we're fine. Replace. That all of a sudden just gives us so much more capacity for ore. So much more to the point where we probably don't have enough we can carry unless we can keep upping those transport numbers. We shall see. Oh, that train's hurtling in right now. It's still got like the coal symbol on it. It should have an ore symbol at this point. Does it even pick up? It does, yeah. It was weird how it had an ore symbol. But that's 300 it's now just picked up. So the two trains are hurtling. One doing 70, one doing 90. That's where you can see the differences with the fact that that had that bend and that had a straighter run. It's already at such a higher speed. But at the same time, this has got weight on its side now with additional carriage, being able to hold a lot more. So we probably need something with a bit more oomph. That's the coal one. That's the ore. So anyway, we should still be producing a lot anyway. But we got to get those shipment numbers up so we can get these leveled up. Are these... Oh, the auto upgrade's off. We had this issue last time, didn't we? Well, the auto upgrade's off on one of them. Yeah, we had that issue last time. Right, coal train coming in. The ore train's not that far behind. But that one's carrying 270. That one's also carrying 270. But the one behind it, which is just here, is carrying 300. So that's exciting. So it's an extra 30 per train. My only concern is, do we have enough? We should do. The train does run a lot slower than the coal one. But see what happens, boys. See what happens. There's actually goods on the platform now. Have we had our first delivery yet? New Delhi? No. Actually, no, it hasn't. So where's that goods train? It is about to come in for the first time to pick up goods. Oh, this is wild. So picking up goods for the first time. Off it goes. So it has an issue with plastic delivery. Plastic is coming in right now. And eventually that should be pretty filled to the brim with plastic. We just got to get, again, it all comes down to transport numbers. That's what it literally all comes down to. You got to get those numbers up, boys. Got to get those numbers up. And that's something that will get done with time. Right, where is the ore section right now? It's over here. Or the steel plant, I should say. Right, I think it might work with us having an additional ore train. I know we have a lot of ore already kind of hurtling down. This, I'm hoping, has got adequate amount where it could support an additional ore train. I've now implemented an additional one. Time will now tell if it can support it or not. We're kind of hoping, fingers crossed, it can. Yeah, it should do. It should do, boys. Okay, so it hasn't loaded up first. Alright, let me see if we can load up first. Now, it is slowing things down to the point where we will be waiting. Are you going back in? What are you doing? No, there you go. You're loading up. So this other train will now skedoodle through and out. Another ore train on the way in. So we'll have an additional ore delivery coming in. That sucks everything up right now. While another train's on the way in, it needs 300 to have a full load. But that should up our deliveries to hopefully then be able to ship off more steel. Exciting, boys. Right, how far as... Oh, there it is. It's going in there for the first time right now. New Delhi is about to get some goods delivered. So, small little delivery. Doesn't really affect the supply too much right now. But that will increase. And, yeah, we did a little bit of damage. But has that affected New Delhi? No. Because it's about to have 2,000 residents. It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We should all be worried. We should all be worried. I'm going to have to redo my my tram line at this point. Because it's grown so much over in this area. We're going to need multiple tram routes within New Delhi. We ultimately are. So this is just a case of a work in progress then. It's just going to take some time. I got to rename it all. I know that. Finances, we're doing some good cash on the crude oil. The refined oil, it's dropped down a little bit, but I think that's kind of because initially it was delivering crude oil before it's now just destined to be refined oil. But that's doing what it needs to do anyway. We got a lot of deliveries coming in. That's about to drop off 241. That's about to get a load going in to keep producing. But it all comes down to numbers at the end of the day. All comes down to numbers. Eventually we'll get it all bottomed out and we're producing the right amount. This is an auto. Some of these stuff, like initials, are auto upgrades turned off. I gotta make sure that they're all turned on. And then obviously we've got the plastics line, which I don't expect to be making any cash yet. It made some money, but takes a little bit of time. It might be better off having like smaller variations so we can have more frequent deliveries. That's what might be good about it all in general. But we're getting there. We are getting there, and once these little faction stuff keep leveling up and like demanding more from us, then we're going to be doing nothing but winning. Nothing but winning, boys. So, another delivery coming in. That's got the production numbers up. Once the shipment and transport numbers go up, we're making all the cash. So, it's got 75 goods to take back to New Delhi this time round, which is a lot more than the first time. Steel train. All this steel line as well. Are you making cash? Not quite just yet, but we are trying to get a consistent delivery of ore coming in, so we're always producing steel. Looks like an ore train has recently just dropped off and another one is about to do so at the same time. So those steel numbers will keep increasing. And they will get to the point where these do start leveling up as well. Now we've got 2 places it now delivers to. It's just because there's 3, it takes longer than normal. And it requires more than normal as well. So, another ore train on the way down. Another ore train on the way down. Another one just loaded up as well. It's slowly happening for us. It is slowly happening. So I think then, after spending so much cash on all these upgrades, we're now feeding New Delhi with the goods. I think, boys, we can end it for here. It's actually been quite a bit long episode today. I do apologize for that. Unless you enjoy these long episodes, let me know in the comment section down below. But New Delhi is now 2,200 in city size. Crazy. It's now getting goods for the first time, so that will just keep growing and expanding. And we'll see some big stuff happening for all these lines. Now, the commuter line that comes through here, which we built last episode, is making good profit. That's what I like to see. But we might need to implement additional trains on there as well. There seems to be a lot of people waiting here. So I might right now manage these vehicles. Rather than duplicating the vehicles, what I could do is replace them all with the... it's diesel, isn't it? This one. Which has a capacity of 124. I mean, I should maybe switch over to electric at some point. But that is quite expensive to run and maintain. But then again, look at the... that's 4.9. Electric. This one. Which does like a really big capacity. Let me sort it by capacity. That does 126. Oh, 11 million. Okay, so it might be better to do like 2 of these in one. Very expensive to upgrade. Same amount of trains. Double the capacity on the trains. Now, all the trains here want to go to New Delhi, so this train now coming along should be able to at least load a fair few amount of people now up. So just little stuff like that, I can add the multi-units to them. Makes them super long, which is probably a bad idea when it comes to like the crisscrosses. And I should only really worry about the crisscrosses like there. That's going to be a big issue there. Maybe this wasn't a great idea. And the other one is going to be in Mumbai. Mumbai might be fine because of the length of the train station. But everywhere else, maybe not so much. Maybe not so much. Let me just kind of witness this train for a second, guys. Let me just witness this train. This might be a bad idea. I think this train is way too long for the platform. Is there another train leaving Mumbai yet, or leading into Mumbai? No, I got a minute or two yet before that happens. The trains are just a little bit too long for my liking. I might use a different variant. Right, this train now comes in, which is going to hang over the crisscross. Which means it can't do the crisscross. So if I just implement... Oh, I don't think I'm going to be able to, am I? Right, there's some buildings on there we just actually just oofed at the same time. So I implement them there. Then delete that signal and these crisscrosses. And then put a new signal just here. That then nicely updates it where it can now go back out and hit the crisscross, which is about to now do. There we go. So we can keep that length of train, which is still not a good idea. I still think it's way too long. But then in Mumbai, where we've got this train now coming down, I just want to double check that this one can do what it needs to do as well. I'm just checking all these little stops. I think we're okay on that line. But let's just see what happens here. So normal length train comes in. Then extra long big boy comes in next. And just going to make sure the back end of it doesn't stick over the crisscross. Which it doesn't. So Mumbai's fine. Mumbai is fine. Right. I've only done that just because of that one station. All the other ones are okay. Just these two stations here, because they're the last stops into New Delhi, are already completely overwhelmed. So, there we go. Not bad, not bad, not bad. And the goods are still coming in. Right, let's end it here, boys. Let's finally end it here. Let's finally end it here. This is now picking up even more goods, which is good to see. That good plant is... Oh, hold on. Is this auto upgrade off as well? There we go. Auto upgrade on. Annoying that is, isn't it? It is annoying. So that's now going to upgrade and level up and then start demanding more, which these will then need to start demanding more, which is great to see. And then that is how the whole line becomes more productive. Right, how are we doing anyway? We've spent a lot of money and we've had a record income year so far. 751, 752, 755. 750 million in income. And it's only going to get better and better. Our most profitable lines as of right now, line 15. Where's line 15, boys? Oh, this line is our what most profitable? Fifth most profitable line, guys. No way. Line 14? Where are you? You are... Where? Oh, up here. Wow, okay, there we go. Yeah, makes sense on that one, makes sense. We're starting to see a lot more ore now out here, so we now consistently keep producing. So there shouldn't really be any more of a dry period is the best way to put it. Right, guys, I'm going to end it right now. I do apologize for the episode being so long, but we've implemented so much stuff right now that's really going to benefit New Delhi. Oh my goodness me. It's getting a little bit out of hand. That's all I'm going to say. It's getting a little bit out of hand. Right, we've pretty much killed off all these demands on these train lines. The line itself has now got skyrocketing costs. But we'll sort that out next episode anyway, guys. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please smash that like button down below. And until next time, I see you all soon. So, goodbye.